ASMR reacting time, I guess.
Hey guys, it's Jessie V. So if you're wondering why I look a little bit higher up than I was before, it's because I have a new YouTube stool for filming. I used to have like a short chair that I've had the past 5 years of having a YouTube channel, but today I upgraded. I'll show you, I'll lift it. Oh look, you can see it right there. This is my new chair and it's a lot taller. So I'm just getting used to like being more like above the moon, you know what I mean? And it like spins and stuff. I love this. Look, like in this house, it looks, I'm like 4 years old. But not only did I get a new YouTube stool, I redid my whole entire YouTube studio. It's all redecorated, it's all like finished. It looks so good and I can't wait to show you guys. I'm probably going to be doing a studio tour in the next week or two because I've never shown what my studio looks like in this house, and I've been hiding it from you guys, and it's gonna be coming out of hiding really soon. So yeah, just be patient with that, but I'm excited. Anyway, so just over a week ago, I did a video about thalassophobia, which was a fear of just the unknown things in the ocean or in deep water. And you guys really seem to like this new phobia series that I made, so I thought, why not make another one? I was looking through a lot of your comments on that video, and you guys have so many different fears, so there's so many that I can cover, but today we are covering this fear, and I hope that I can pronounce it correctly. You already saw it in the title. It's a bit complicated. Give me a second to try. It is called automatonophobia. 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 I think I got it. It's an even longer word than the last time, if you can imagine that. Basically, it's a fear of human-like figures, and a lot of people have this fear. It could be wax figures, it could be humanoid robots, it could be animatronics, mannequins, dolls, anything that looks
Wait, animatronics are real? Cool.
human figured but is not alive. Now, I don't have a really serious fear of
Me and my cousin are just really scared about the family destiny.
this. I would say if I am afraid of anything that's human looking, statues really freak me out. Statues and sometimes dolls. And while I was researching this, apparently most people, like 90% of people in the world, have a nervousness when they approach certain figures like this. It doesn't mean you have a full-blown phobia, but maybe you unconsciously just get nervous when you approach them. It's like an uneasiness. Like, have you ever been to a wax museum before? As cool as it is, and I really enjoyed going to one, there's something about approaching figures that are not alive that is just so uneasy. Now, automatonophobia can relate to a couple other fears. One of those fears is called maskophobia, so obviously the fear of people wearing a mask. If you ever go to Disney World or Disneyland, and if you were afraid of the characters walking around, you probably have maskophobia. So this is more of an actual human being, but they're covering their face with something. So automatonophobia, which we're covering today, is sort of like a more general phobia that covers all of those things I mentioned: statues, wax figures, robots, anything that's not alive but looks human, you know what I mean? So we're gonna be looking through photos, and if you are afraid of any of the things I'm about to show you, you probably have this fear. So get ready, this part always makes me so nervous. But we're gonna do it, okay? I'm just gonna move over a bit. Move my nice new stool. So this first one is a human-like mannequin sitting on a couch. And I think the most unnerving part about this is that she looks so natural sitting there, because usually you see mannequins looking like totally like up straight, stiff, everything. But she's almost in a relaxed position, which makes her look more real, and it's freaking me out so much to look at. And what's even more strange is that when I found this picture, it said that it was in someone's house. So this is not a mannequin in a store. Someone actually owns this mannequin and lives with it. So to each his own, but I mean, this next one is a little boy mannequin. And I don't know, what freaks you guys out more? When the mannequin is wearing like human clothes clothing, or when it's just clothing-less and it's just kind of standing there staring at you. Which one's more freaky? I think it's more freaky when they're dressed up to look like this, like a little boy. This next one, it makes me feel so weird when you walk into a store and they have like unique mannequins, you know what I mean? So like for instance, this one is sticking out his tongue, which by the way, looks too big for his mouth. I don't know what's going on here. And I guess the eye fell out by accident. But like, you know when you walk into stores and like instead of like your standard mannequins, they have ones that are like, and like doing different things? Like, no. Oh man, imagine walking through this clothing store trying to find a nice outfit and you head to this weird shirt section at the back and this guy is staring at you. His face is like, I can't handle it. I would actually scream in this store if I saw this. This is what I mean about unique mannequins. You know what they kind of look like? You know the Who's from Whoville and the Grinch? That's what they look like. It looks like a camel just came over and licked their hair and now it's kind of like this, you know what I mean? I don't know, would this make you want to walk into this store? Because, oh no. So also ventriloquist dummies also fall into this category because like I said, it's a human-like thing, but it's not alive, and ooh, these dummies freak me out so much. And like, why is this person taking a picture of their newborn child with this thing looking into the crib? And I hate how his hand is like kind of there, like it just looks so human, so creepy. No. Oh, this next one. I don't know, guys. I mean, these are all like vintage photos of ventriloquists, and back then this was like a really big deal. A lot of people were putting on shows with these dolls. People found it hilarious. People loved it. And I think over the years it became more and more creepy because you don't really see this very often anymore. But yeah, these ventriloquists were very attached to their dolls, and that's why they took so many photos with them. And I don't know, I feel like they think they were their children or something. Oh yeah. Like, why would you want this doll peering over your shoulder like that? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. And I mean, I'm not one to judge. If this makes someone happy, then, you know, do it. Good for you. But there's no way I would go to a photographer and be like, so can you take a picture of my creepy doll and I'll
I want this story actually.
And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about friendship bracelets. I feel like we all owned at least one friendship bracelet in our life. And yes, believe it or not, there are some very creepy facts that have to do with them. I was able to find a couple really disturbing and sad stories, so I just want to prepare you beforehand. This video gets a little bit dark and sad. And you're probably like, friendship bracelets and sadness together? Yeah. It's crazy. I also feel like I'm blending into this background behind me. Like, I'm pink, the pink palace is pink. I've got the sun and moon, they love each other. Anyways though, let's jump right into this video and talk about the history behind friendship bracelets. A friendship bracelet is a decorative bracelet given by one person to another as a symbol of friendship. Friendship bracelets are often handmade, usually out of some type of thread. Some people also say that you must make a wish before you tie the bracelet onto your hand, and the bracelet should be worn until it is totally worn out and falls off by itself to honor the hard work and love put into making it. And apparently the moment it falls off your wrist is the moment the wish comes true. There are various styles and patterns, but most are based on the same simple half-stitch knot. They resemble a friendship that is strong and everlasting. Now, friendship bracelets first became popular in the United States back in the 1970s. And now, obviously, they're popular all around the world. Now, back when I was in elementary school, everybody had a friendship bracelet. People were like obsessed with them, and it got to a point where if you didn't have a friendship bracelet, it just meant you didn't have any friends. Like, that's what people would say. It was horrible. Sometimes I would stay up all night trying to figure out how to make the coolest pattern. It was just a big deal back then. I don't really know if it is still today, but it was back then. I actually don't think I've seen anyone wearing a friendship bracelet in such a long time, so if you are wearing one right now, please comment down below. I remember some kids at school would even make businesses out of it. Like, they would make a whole bunch and then sell.
So let me tell you a story, guys. My mommy actually sold old earrings. Well, it's handmade. Like her sister and her were sailing, they were working together. They sold everything and blah 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 blah.
Them for $2 at recess.
So that's really
They had a business? I remember this one time my sister and I made bracelets for each other, and we put these letter beads on them that spelled out sissy, which to us was like the short form of sister. It was kind of like a cute way of saying sister, sissy. But I didn't know that sissy had another meaning, because if you look it up online, the definition of sissy is wimpy or cowardly. So I remember getting bullied for wearing this bracelet, and they would come up to me and be like,
What, are you a sissy? Are you a little sissy?
and I was thinking like, yeah, I'm a sister. And I didn't understand there was like two meanings. It's kind of sad. All right, so let's get into the creepier and sadder side of friendship bracelets. The first story I'm gonna tell you is very sad and not funny at all. So I just want to prepare you before we move on. This is a story about two very close friends named Anna and Victoria. So basically, they friends named Anna and Victoria. They basically grew up together, and in the second
Cool, because my nickname is Anna and yeah. But I think her Anna name is A, but my Anna is A and then double N.
grade, they made each other friendship bracelets and said they could never break as long as their friendship was alive. So basically, they believed these bracelets to be indestructible as long as they were alive and together. And that definitely was the case, because in the 5th grade, their bracelets were still intact and looked good as new. They had survived laundry machines, the beach, jungle gyms, literally everything these bracelets have gone through. Well, one day they were on a school trip in the forest. The kids were learning about how maple syrup is made. And while the guide was demonstrating how the spout coming out of the trees work, Anna noticed that Victoria was missing from the group. Well, long story short, the staff and teachers looked everywhere in the forest and couldn't find her. It was a very large forest, and their search had no luck, and Anna had to go back home without her best friend. Weeks went by and there was still no sign of Victoria. But Anna's friendship bracelet was still unbroken, so she told everyone that Victoria must have been okay. She just knew in her heart that Victoria must have been out there somewhere still alive, because her friendship bracelet was still okay. She relied on this bracelet so much. But one day, 6 months later, Anna was sitting eating cereal and noticed there was a giant tear in her bracelet, and when she went to touch it, it fell right off her wrist. And in that moment, she knew that she most likely wouldn't be seeing her best friend ever again. The bracelet breaking sort of symbolized that Victoria hadn't made it, because they promised each other as long as they were both around, the bracelet would be okay. The police found Victoria
So sad.
Pag gusto, may paraan. Basta may swak to.
in the woods the same day the bracelet broke, and no, she hadn't made it out. So it's super sad, because obviously Victoria passed away and Anna just knew it. And Anna had a dream that night of her friend standing there in her room holding the 2 broken bracelets in her hands and saying, "Thank you for everything." So that's how the story ends, and it's so sad. I was reading.
I know, but she might not have a dream. Maybe the spirit of her did that, like being in her dream. Like God can do that to make her spirit see. So she
This and I was like, are you joking me
do it.
right now? Because I've never attributed anything sad with the friendship bracelet. So that was the more sad story, and now we're gonna move into the creepier story. This one is called the light up bracelet. So there was a similar story about these 2 best friends named Maria and Tanya, and they both wore wore these light up friendship bracelets to symbolize like their relationship as friends. The way they worked is that whenever they were near each other or in close proximity, the bracelets would light up. And it kind of reminds me of those friendship lamps. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those, but if you have a friend that moved away or if you're in a long distance relationship, you put these in your room and whenever the other person touches their lamp, yours will light up. It's supposed to be like a comforting feeling knowing that the other person is like thinking of you. So both your lamps will light up and it will symbolize like, I miss you. So these glowing friendship bracelets worked in the same way, except they would light up when they were near each other. So it wasn't about distance, it was when they were really, really close, the bracelets would light up. Well, Maria was in a car accident and unfortunately passed away. And as sad as that is, things unfortunately got very creepy for Tanya after that. For months afterwards, Tanya swore she felt the presence of Maria in her room. She would be sleeping and suddenly would wake up to something rustling in her bedroom. And whenever she woke up from those noises, her bracelet would start glowing, which is so creepy because like I said, the only time it glows is when her best friend is close.
Then maybe her best friend's spirit is close to her.
Her and her best friend passed away, so what the heck is happening? She would call her parents into her bedroom, but as soon as they got there, the bracelet would stop glowing, so obviously they wouldn't believe her. So she decided to stop wearing it because it was scaring her so much. So she put it in a box in her closet. Every so often she would see a shadow or sense something in her room, and she would see this colorful glow under her is in the room. It's like also a very sad story, but also like no one really wants to be in that situation. And the last story I'm gonna tell you guys is called the butterfly bracelet, and it's actually a story that happened to me in real life. So this happened to me back in 2015. It was when I had my very first YouTube meet and greet ever. It was when I hit 150,000 subscribers, I believe. And I think I sold about 80 tickets, so it wasn't like a ton, but it honestly meant so much to me in that moment. I just couldn't believe how many people showed up, and it was mostly like parents with their kids. Well, the meet and greet lasted for about 2 hours, and once we were all done and everyone had left, we started packing up. But then my dad walked up to me and he's like, there's this strange lady who has been standing out in the hallway this whole entire time and hasn't come in. Which was odd because if she was there to meet me, she could have just come in to meet me, and if she was there to like pick up her kid or wait on her kid, everyone...
What? No one.
Had left already. So it was just her there standing in the hallway. So my dad went out into the hallway to talk to her, and he was out there for about 10 minutes speaking with her. And when he came back into the room, he had this very strange look on his face, and I was like, Dad, what happened? What did she say? He told me that this lady was desperate to know these very odd things about me. Like she wanted to know the exact time I was born, what moon phase it was the night I was born, what the weather was like the night I was born, if the stars were visible, all these very strange, detailed questions about the night I was born. So my dad told her that he was obviously uncomfortable answering all of those questions. And when he asked her why she wanted to know those things, she just wouldn't tell him. And then she pulls out this old sort of rusted looking butterfly bracelet, and she told my dad to give it to me and that I was supposed to wear it every single day. And the weirdest thing was she didn't want to actually come in to see me. She just wanted to tell my dad those things and ask him those weird questions about me. Details about my birth. And to this day, I have no idea what the bracelet meant. I had no idea what the questions meant. So if anyone knows what she might have been doing, please comment down below. Was she trying to like curse me or something? It honestly was such an eerie encounter, and yeah, I just had to tell it. I think I might have told this story way back a few years ago on my channel, but yeah, pretty freaky. Anyways though guys, those are all of the friendship bracelet stories I'm going to be telling today. If you have any good ones, definitely comment them down below. And if you like this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!